Okay, guys, I'm going to start. I hope that you can hear me well. I'm going to start with the readings for today's series that is about how do they flirt 2026 version. I do have from prior years, so if you want to check those out. For today, I have NCT127 Johnny, I have EXO Suho, I have Enhypen Jake, DPR Ian, Stray Kids Hyunjin, and Twice Tzuyu. And then I have other people come back. So yeah, I'm going to take a look with them about them with my cards. I do have a Korean singer to read for that it was a recommendation. AOORA, I believe it's pronounced. Then about this rumor idol that is having a child. It's not that it's having, I think that the child is already born, but there's like a blind item about an idol, very famous one. And let's see what the cards have to say about this person. Let's see. Then I'm going to read for KATSEYE Manon. WSJN is having a comeback, so I'm going to pull cards for them. And then I'm going to read for boynextdoor Myung Jaehyun, because, people wanted an update about him because he has been, according to people, I don't know, he has been looking a bit sad maybe, or, maybe more introspective, introvert, or serious. I don't know. So yeah, let's check his energy, how he's going to do in this 2026. Also, I saw a read for him on Sagittarius Idols season, but I was looking for his name and I couldn't find it. So I was like, oh, no one requested him. So yeah, I'm going to pull cards for him to see how he's doing. But yeah, let's start first with how do they flirt. I'm going to pull 4 cards and one of the oracle. This oracle that is called the Oracle of the Amor et Psyche is also, there's naked people, so I'm not going to be able to show you the cards fully. If I can, I will cover some, but yeah, they have keywords, so they are very fitting for romance and all of those things. So let's use it. Okay. I'm starting early, guys, because I'm melting here. It's so hot. I just washed my hair, but it's getting very humid in here, so I'm already sweating. But it's summertime here. What can I do? Thank you for the likes. Okay, I'm going to start with NCT127 Johnny. How does he flirt? Very nice. Very nice. Okay. He got the cards of the 6 of Pentacles. He got the Ace of Pentacles. He has the Sun card, and he has the Star card. Very positive cards, I must say. Very bright, very positive. I like it. He's very transparent also. If he flirts or if he shows interest, it's very obvious. And then from this oracle, he got the card of balance and unity. Balance and unity. What am I reading? I think that first I see all these pentacles, so it could be that he is very realistic when it comes to how he flirts. Maybe he there's something about him maybe showing you literally with actions or just with paying things for you. Like it feels very, I don't want to say materialistic because it's not about being materialistic, but it's about um like you shall receive what you give out. So also because we have the card of balance and unity, and the Six of Pentacles also often shows this balance, this reciprocity. So it's about giving and receiving, and the Ace of Pentacles is about feeling successful, feeling like with action you show him that you are interested too, that you feel comfortable with him flirting with you. He's very good at probably reading the environment, or reading people, or reading situations. But I think that for him there has to be, like, things have to happen in real time, like in real life. I don't see him like he's like this hopeless romantic or dreamer. He's more about, actions. Like, okay, like I do this for you, you took it well, you receive it, you smiled, you seem to like me too. So because you do that, I will advance and I will flirt and I will show you a good time, because we have the sun and we have the star card. So if you notice also in the star card and in the sun card, we have like a naked child, we have a naked person in the star card. So it's all about showing yourself the way you are, and also being very, very transparent, but also being very happy while flirting. So I think that he would be like a very good partner. He would make you have a really good time. It's just that initially he needs the confirmation. He needs to know that you feel it too. And probably he's very serious about this, because we have the pentacles. So it feels like a transaction. It feels like, okay, you move like this, or you do this, or you respond to what I'm doing. So I have to see, like in the real world, how do we go about this flirting, and also I think that he probably is about, like, either he gives you something or he does something for you. So he's like waiting for your response to see how you react, maybe to him helping you out, being generous in some way, being polite, being of service, buying you something that you need. It could be like a drink, it could be, I don't know, like like giving you a napkin, something just very, like, it has to be like, I don't want to like, I feel like it's like it has to be like an everyday kind of situation. This is how he knows that he has to be like rooted in reality, and I think that this is very interesting because he is an Aquarius man. So seeing all these pentacles, I think that initially when it comes to flirting, he's very serious about this. He's very serious, like the way he approaches the person, the way he looks at you, the way he maybe pays attention to what you need of him, or maybe what he wants to do. But it seems that he's sort of, with his actions, he's asking you for permission, or he's asking you for not approval, but it seems like you have to give me the okay in order for me to continue. Like, I cannot just flirt with someone that I really like, but I don't want to spoil it. I want to stay in reality. I want to feel like it's balanced, and there's a union. There's like reciprocity. There's, like, okay, I give you this and you react. And if you don't react, it means that you don't like me. So I don't waste my time. I don't waste my potential, and we can be friends and everything will be cool. And I will treat you kindly anyways. Like, he's not, an obsessive person, nor he's someone that he's going to hunt you down like like an eagle, like with the eagle eyes. He's not like that. He's very much about like, you have to give me proof. It's essential proof that you feel it too. I need to see it. I need to see it with my eyes. I need to know that you want me to flirt with you. And probably feels like very formal, or it feels like he's being very polite, educated, rational even. But behind all those, good manners and everything, there's an interest. That's how he flirts. Okay, I'm going to continue with EXO Suho. EXO Suho, the leader of EXO. Let's see. How does he flirt? I know I read for him not so long ago, but he was requested by a fan one more time. So yes, I'm going to do this for him. Hmm. Hmm. Oh wow. It feels a bit tragic, I must say. Oh wow. Okay, for Suho, EXO Suho, we start with the Seven of Swords. We start with the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Death card, and we have the Fool. And then from the Oracle, we have the card of unrequited desire. Unrequited desire. So yeah, it feels like maybe it doesn't go well initially. There's something about him having to start over, or him having to take a break from that person. Maybe, take distance and then start all over, come back again, something like this. Like, I will come back another day, something like this. Or maybe he feels like a bit ashamed of the way he acted. It seems like there's something about like, oh, I made a fool of myself, or I made a mistake, so I cannot take it. It's too much for me. I have to go. I have to run. And this is why we have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Pentacles, him saying one thing and doing another. So yeah, we have the Ace of Pentacles. That it could mean actually that, maybe he's really good at flirting, or maybe the response that he would get, it could be positive, that the person is like sort of like is feeling the same, or they like him already. But I think that he feels like, no, it's not, it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I said something that it didn't sound well, or I moved away that I don't think that this was okay, so I will just disappear, or I will just evade this person because I feel so ashamed, or I feel so sorry for myself, or it seems like when you have someone that is like a perfectionist, or someone that is like is very picky about the way they do things. Maybe in his mind, he has this idea, he has this, plan. Maybe he has a plan in his mind, and he's like, okay, I'm going to flirt with this person. I'm going to make a move on this person. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go through all these stages, and I'm hoping to get this response. But maybe he skips a step, or maybe he says something, prematurely. He says something out of place. I don't know. I don't think that is out of place, but for him, it's like, oh, I made a mistake. This is not how it's supposed to go. So I would just, back off a bit. I will go because I feel so embarrassed. So, Yeah, I see that he actually has a charm. He probably, he doesn't need to flirt that much, or maybe it's just that he runs away before he can, see the result, or see that the person, is still there, that they really don't want him to leave, or that they really want to keep hearing from him more, or they want to keep interacting with him, or they want like a second date, or they want, they want to keep advancing with him. But he feels so sorry for himself that he prefers to run away, or he prefers to escape. Yeah, and with the death card and the fool, he can come back. He can come back, in acting like, oh, nothing happened, like, oh, I don't know what happened that day, I don't remember, I just know that I needed time, I needed space. I don't know why I said what I said back then, but no, I wasn't flirting. No, that was not me. You mistake me from something for someone else. No, that was not me. So he could play a bit like, oh, I have no idea what you're talking about. And also with the fool is, him wanting to start over, or him, acting like, I don't remember, I'm a different person, I'm in a different stage. So I think that is that he could be very shy, or that he could be very, like, a bit awkward around the person that he likes. I don't know. I think that he acts like, I don't want to say like he acts like impulsively, because I don't think that it's about impulses, but I think that it's about perceptions. When you have a perception of what being good at something means, or in this case, being good at flirting, I think that he makes a lot of ideas in his mind, or preconceptions that they don't come true. And the Ace of Pentacles is actually showing him that, you are, you have good responses of people. Actually, the people that he likes probably likes him back. He has a lot of potential to be good at flirting. It's just that, there's something about him running away before actually being able to see, observe that the other person accepts him for who he is. Even with these small mistakes that he considers. But he probably, he doesn't forgive himself, or he's, very harsh on himself, or he, takes care a lot of his image, or he has like his own, idea of, this is how I'm supposed to feel, this is me, I'm no regular person, I shouldn't be able to do these mistakes, I don't forgive myself. So he runs away, and also with the death card, there's something about him probably being gone for a while and disappearing in front of this person, disappearing for a really long time, and then coming back like a new man, and people being like, is he okay? Like, especially if he's flirting with someone that they are acquaintances, and they are colleagues, and it's like, I know where you are, I have seen you around, it's just that you have been somehow disappearing from me. It's like, are you avoiding me? Something like this. So it's, yeah. And yeah, with unrequited desire, it feels, yeah, very, very much like he could feel a bit like a victim of the circumstances, being like, oh my God, like, oh, why me? Oh my God, like, oh, why this happens to me? Like, maybe this is a signal, this is a sign that this person is not for me. So he tortures himself, he feels very like, oh my God, this is serious, and it's not that serious. Very fatalistic, I must say. Hello, Chachalino. Good morning. You say hello, guys, and there's no one here. I started with the readings already because there's no one here. I will continue with the readings, and then at the end, if more people join, I will start the conversations. But yeah, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. I did already NCT127 Johnny, EXO Suho. Then I have Enhypen Jake, DPR Ian, Stray Kids Hyunjin, and twice Tzuyu. Then I have another topics to read for, and I have this Korean singer, AOORA. Then I have multiple cards for this rumor idol having that has a child. I said having a child, but he has a child. It said that the child already exists. Has a child out of wedlock, something like this. I don't know much. Well, I'm going to read for KATSEYE Manon, then for WSJN Comeback, and for boynextdoor Myung Jaehyun. Yes, I think that it. Then I want to pull cards for. I don't know how, because I don't remember exactly, but I want to pull cards for this show that I'm watching, Battle of Fates. It's a Korean reality show for fortune tellers, shamans, and other readers. And there's some people that say that it's scripted. Probably because it's a reality show, so probably. But yeah, I'm going to pull cards for that as well because I'm watching it and I'm loving it. Especially the shamans. The shamans are my favorite. The shamans are my favorite. Okay. I'm going to continue with Enhypen Jake. How does he flirt? Okay. For Jake, let's see. We start with the Hangman. We have the King of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. And we have the Seven of Cups. It's very interesting because he got the King of Swords, and then I have here the card of Soft Whispers. Soft Whispers. Soft Whispers. Because I have the King of Swords, and I'm like, but yeah, it makes sense about these soft whispers because it feels like his voice is a bit like, with the Hangman next to the King of Swords, it feels like his communication is a bit stuck. So it means that maybe either he, like this says, soft whispers, maybe he lowers his voice or he just doesn't talk to that person that much, or he, stops, talking to this person. Like there's something about him, with messages or with words, he been really good at flirting, and probably, with conversations, or he could be a really good conversationalist with this King of Swords. Very upfront, very honest, very intelligent, just knowing what to say. Also, probably him taking the lead in the conversation, maybe him being, the one that, I don't want to say that he talks the most because I have the Hangman in here, but I feel like he could, have like a sort of talent when it comes to flirting, about, that his voice or the way he communicates or the way he talks to the person that he likes or that he's flirting with is a huge element for success. So, with soft whispers, he could really like enchant or make the person fall in love with him just with the sound of his voice, or maybe the way he talks to them, he whispers to them, his accent, his voice, his tone of voice. I don't know. I think that he's really good. Like his voice, it seems like, or the way he communicates, it seems like it's like a whole success. But then we have the Hangman. So I feel that he could be a bit like either he had been successful at flirting with people in the past through communication. And there was a point where he was asked to stop. Because the handman is giving me like, you have the whole potential, like you have that person's attention, or you're really good at this, flirting with your voice, or just speaking your truth, and the other person just being, so impressed by you. They're like, wow, he's so intelligent, or wow, he's so eloquent. I don't know, he has a very sharp mind, and also he's very honest. He probably is very straightforward. He's not shy at all. So there's something just very, very fresh about the way he communicates. He probably is not really good at lying neither, but I think that with the handman, there was like something that got stuck. I don't know if he was in trouble. I don't know if maybe there was someone that got him or caught him flirting with someone, and they're like, you cannot do that, or you cannot talk to this person, or you cannot flirt. But I think that there was like a stop. There was like an interruption. There was something that he was told, to stay silent. Like, don't talk about these matters, or don't talk to that person like this, because it can be misunderstood, or people can say things. So I don't know, maybe he I don't know, could it be that he flirts with the fans, with voice and messages, and there's something about, like, this could be inappropriate, or there's something that was like they asked him to shush. They asked him to not do that. Do not be that open, do not be that honest. But I think that his charm is really the voice, his voice. But yeah, the Page of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups. I think that he's he's very young, he's very exciting, he's a very passionate guy, he's very impulsive as well, and he has many options. So I think that when it comes to flirting, he's still figuring out his style. He probably is a visual person, he's very masculine, he's very young, he's very mature. So he's like the kind of guy that he's like, I have a lot of options, or he likes different people. So I think that he could take his shot with different people. He could, or at least in his mind, in his imagination, he's like, I have all these options. And maybe in reality, who knows? Who knows? But because there's something also very adolescent, very like teenager-like of him, that probably in his mind or in his imagination, he's like, okay, I have all these choices, or, I think that if I would flirt with this person, I would have their heart, or I will have their attention, or, I would, if I could do this, I would, I would be successful. Maybe he thinks really positively of his ability to seduce, and he could also be very courageous. It's just that the Page of Wands is giving me like experimental, like he's really slowly, like, since he was asked to not talk or to not engage in conversations, especially when he's flirting or when he likes the person. So maybe he's like, okay, you don't want me to talk, then I will use my body, or then I will go and just be with the person, or do something, or move, so I can reach out to them, so I can, have my options. Because he's like, I have plenty of options. I'm young, I'm beautiful, so you cannot stop me. He has that, rebellious side of him that you cannot, tell him what to do. He will find a way to escape and just, and also he probably is very charming. He's a very charming person. I don't think that it's his imagination that he has options. He probably does. But he probably is like a bit like, he believes a lot on himself. But yeah, soft whispers. I think that definitely if I would be advising Jake, I would be like, keep it going with your communication style, or with your voice, or and also keep it sexy, keep it like with soft whispers, like, okay, yeah, you and I are talking, or I'm talking to you, and like no one knows about this, only you and I. And I think that that's a success. That's that's the most attractive or seductive way that he can get the attention of someone when he flirts. Okay. I'm going to continue with DPR Ian. See with Christian, let's see. Oh, boy. Could it be that he doesn't flirt, like women flirt with him? Yeah, we have the card from the Oracle of Physical Attraction. So yeah, it's all about the way he looks. this is literal. Like I think that yeah, his flirting style is the way he looks. It's not so much about what he does. It's more about like yeah, the way I look or how I look. You know, I like people experience this physical attraction towards me, and yeah, this is my flirting. We start with the Queen of Wands. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Four of Wands, and we have the Lovers. Yeah, a lot of women here too, at least two that are already like taking they're already taking the spotlight. They're like me, and there's two probably older than him, but probably this could be like two very significant women in his life that probably they initiated the flirting or they taught him about being flirtatious and about being, you know, how you receive, you know, the other person being seductive towards you. You know, he probably like he attracts older women, and not just like Christian of today. I think that probably he experienced this when he was very young or when he was just starting in the industry. You know, having older, more successful women like approach him and flirting with him. I think that they take over the you know the reading, and they are like, you know, we taught him how to flirt, or we taught him it's like we taught him the like how to receive, you know, compliments, advances, flirting. I don't know. I think that these two women are like, you know, they are like this feminine experience or this strong female experience for Christian. So I think that also they taught him about, you know, women, you know, especially these two that are queens, about that women can be dominant as well, or that women can take the lead as well about, you know, flirting or initiating a relationship or initiating or saying I love you first or I like you first. You know, I think that they also teach him about you know seduction, and I think that he's like, you know, everything I know about not flirting but everything I know about attraction is because I had experiences with these women that they taught me a lot about sexiness, about confidence, about feeling desirable. You know, it's like he's like, you know, they were my teachers. They were the ones that they taught me about, you know, what is sexy, what is flirting, what is, you know, attraction, what is good about me, or you know, I think that he learns, like women in his life are very important. He's very observant, he learns a lot. Probably he learns the most about the women in his life. He has very dominant like women in his life, so they take the lead and they show him the way. So about flirting, he's like, you know, I cannot say like I was born, you know, very flirtatious or like I initiated things. No, because you know I had these experiences where women would initiate, they would be flirting with me first, so I would learn to receive their energy or to, you know, somehow decode or translate, I guess, their intentions towards me, and also dealing with being desirable, and what do I do with this, or what do I do with their um, advances, or with the what they want of me. But I think that for him, he's like, for me, flirting is fun. Had always been a fun exchange or a fun experience. I think that he had always loved, like having fun, and feeling desirable and just having these flirtatious moments. I think that for him, he just finds it very funny. Very funny. He loves to feel, the other person desires about him, and it usually happens at parties, like parties, celebrations, and he feels very like stimulated. He feels very like excited about the experience, maybe because also these women were very exciting people, very much about like, let's go here, the queen of wands, the queen of pentacles, these people that they're like, let's go here, let's go to this bar, or let's go to this place, or let's go and have this experience. I think that he has a lot of fun, when women flirt with him, they are like, I don't know, they probably invite him places, or everything is so cool, everything is so available. And then we have the lovers. So I think that the lovers also, it could be that it's just flirting. I think that for him, it's not about like, oh my God, I started having feelings later, or this developed into something more important. No, because first of all, we're talking about how do they flirt. So for him, I think that he about flirting, he allows the flirting to happen, and he's like, he leaves the situation open. It's like, I don't know why he's giving me like a love triangle, something like this. It feels like there's like three people, or there's two. This is why we have these two women here. There could be two that they are fighting for him, or they're fighting for his attention. So with the lovers, it's like, yeah, for me, I never made my mind. I never choose or have chosen one, because this is about flirting. Flirting is about having options. It's about, you having this experience with this person, and then this person, and no one gets offended, no one gets their heart broken. It's just fun. And I think that this is like a great representation of what flirting feels like, especially when you are an attractive person, and this is why, when we have for Christian, we have the card of physical attraction. So the cards are, the oracle is very obvious. It's like, he never had to like even think about like, how do I flirt? Because, the other person always would take the lead, because they felt this physical attraction towards him. He had always been beautiful, or very sexy, or very, he had always had that something that the other person wants. So, is about his physical appearance, definitely. These male idols are always surrounded by women waiting to get them. Yes, yeah. And I think that probably he's the first one that admits it, and I don't know how old Christian is, but he's like, yeah, those were my experiences. And it's not traumatizing, like no one got hurt. It was just fun. And I think that sort of resumes, the experience of flirting, that is supposed to be fun, that is supposed to be, fun, the way it lasts, if it lasts. And if it doesn't work, well, okay, at least I tried, or at least I had this possibility, and that's it. Especially when you are a very a very young and beautiful person, you have options. 36. Okay. Yeah, very honest about this. Okay, I'm going to continue with the Stray Kids Hyunjin. Stray Kids Hyunjin, how does he flirt? see. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. He got from the Oracle. He got Eros and Thanatos. Eros and Thanatos. Eros and Thanatos. And then from the Tarot, he got the Hermit. He got the Empress. He got the Four of Pentacles. And he has the King of Pentacles. Seeing this combination, the first thing that came to my mind is that Hyunjin is like this beautiful flower that it's like under a glass, under it's like for exposure. It's like you can watch him, but you cannot touch him. You cannot, have access to him and his beauty and his magnetism and his seductiveness. It's very interesting, this combination. I think that he's someone that there's something that it feels like, even if he flirts with you, I don't think that he's like that obvious when he flirts, but he's like, he knows about his attractiveness. He knows, of course, he knows that his looks is what gives him abundance. He takes a lot of care in his appearance, or he's very proud of, where his appearance had, led him, his work, his value. He's also very, but I don't know why I wanted to say he's like this beautiful, lonely flower. This is the thing that got in my mind when I saw this, the Empress next to the Hermit. It feels like you can watch me, but you cannot touch me. You don't have access to me. Actually, I'm a loner. I prefer to be alone. I prefer to study myself. He's someone that probably lately he's like, I want to get to know myself better, because he's actually having a really good life. He's having a really good life, a very successful and prosperous life. And of course, that with the Empress, it has to do with opportunities. It has to do with growth. It has to do that, he knows that he has the face, he has the body, he has the popularity. If he wanted to flirt, he would, because he has it all. He has it all. It's just that with the Hermit, he's like, I prefer to save this for myself instead of giving it to others. I wonder if he's a loner. I wonder, does he, besides, because I don't know why I'm like, yeah, he does go out or he does socialize, but he does socialize only when it has to do with work. About, going to see friends or going to see people of his age, it seems like he prefers to be alone, or he prefers to be isolated. And it's not sad. Actually, like, I don't want people to be like, oh my God, what is going on with Hyunjin? No. It's just that Hyunjin values his beauty. Hyunjin is like, my beauty is what is putting food on the table. Literally, not just for him, but also for a lot of people around him. He has grown so much. He has acquired so many opportunities because of how beautiful he is, that he's like, I'm not giving my beauty to anyone. Like, no. And also there's something just very, like, he's really, I wonder, is he really good at connecting with people? I know that probably with fans it's easier, because fans, they, the fan and the idol, they have a sort of a conversation. They have their inside jokes. They have their language, if you will. But I think that when it comes to others, Hyunjin is very much like, he's very selective about, like, yeah, I just spend time on my own. there's certain people that I don't hang out with those people. I prefer to be by myself because I'm precious. So I don't waste my energy just being at a random place. No, because I have to take care of me. I have to take care of my, of my beauty. I have to get like a good sleep. I don't have to stress because if I stress, I get ugly. There's something about this. Like it feels like very Virgo like. This is why we have, I know he's a Pisces, but with the Hermit, it feels like there's this Virgo energy of, I'm looking for perfection. So I just don't expose myself like this because I know I'm precious. I know everyone wants a piece of me and I will not give it to them. And then we have these cards that also is about Pentacles. Four of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So it's about his own value. It's about, his own way of maybe thinking about flirting. For the moment being, I think that he is like, he's very stubborn in his ways. Maybe he has a way of flirting that could also be very realistic. It could be about sharing something with someone that he likes, maybe, giving them a gift or making a present. But with the Four of Pentacles, I also think that it could be that he could be a bit cheap. Like, look, I don't want to give you everything of me, just in case. Like, I don't, he's very protective of his own value. And I guess, he has the Empress and he has the King of Pentacles. So he is like a very successful person that probably, when it comes to him using, his abilities to seduce the fans, seduce the camera, selling products, being the face of products, he's like, I got this. This is my field. This is my field. He's also very possessive of the opportunities that he receives. He's like, this is mine. This is for me. But at the same time, he doesn't let go. He doesn't open up to others. So I don't see him being like, yeah, I do this to flirt. No, actually, I see him very reluctant to flirt. He's like, why? Why would I flirt with you? Why? So he's very stubborn as well. So if he likes someone, he can actually be a bit, and also Eros and Thanatos, he has a sort of like inner battle with his desires. There's a part of him, that he really wants a connection, he wants to flirt, but he probably is the kind of person that he starts bickering, and it's not cute. But because he's like very like, rigid. So it's really hard to, if you want to get close to him, you somehow have to do what he says, and it gets very, and even at the end, you don't know if he will give you the possibility. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Yes, but I think that it sort of makes sense because, there's something about Hyunjin's beauty and Hyunjin's success that he had seen. Look, the Three of Swords. He had seen his success or potential of success being threatened. He had seen it. He had seen people trying to destroy him for just being who he is or what he looks like or what he has or his talents, whatever. He had seen it. So this is why he protects himself very much. And even something simple as flirting, he's like, I cannot do it. I overanalyze, I cannot do it. But it's not something to be like, oh, poor him. No, not poor him. He's been intelligent. He's been strategic. And he's doing very well. So yes, go Hyunjin. Okay, I'm going to continue with twice Tzuyu. How does she flirt? Hmm. She's sweet. She's sweet. Okay, we have the Temperance, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the High Priestess, and we have the Nine of Cups. We have three major arcanas. So this woman is very special. Is very special. And then from the Oracle, we have the card of full intimacy. Full intimacy. So yeah, I think that for Tui, with the Temperance, the Wheel of Fortune, it's all very cool. If she's cool with you, she will flirt, and then she can move on. It feels like it comes and goes, like waves. Like waves, like I can laugh at your jokes, I can be funny with you, I can I can allow things to flow between us. I think that this is the way she flirts. If she's cool with you, it means that she's flirting. If she's open to receive, whatever you're doing, if she's like, okay, you do this for me and I respond back, it means that she likes you. It means that she likes you. But I think that also, the Temperance and the Wheel of Fortune is only momentum. Um, it feels very like natural. It feels very, but she doesn't think about it very seriously. She's like, yeah, I flirt or I flirted in the past. She's more like I allowed people to have, this moment with me. Something like this. It seems like she is the one that commands, the waves. And I want to say waves. I don't know why. I feel like it feels like very watery. But I think that for her, it's like, I like you, but it's more like like I like your vibe. There's something just like very positive about you. So because I like you, we can exchange a bit of flirting. But I think that for her, it's about like maybe spending time with the person, or maybe just like laughing at people's jokes, or maybe it's just smiling at whatever they say. It's just having a good time. But she moves on very fast. She moves on very fast. But if you see her that she's at ease, that she's like having a good time, or that she's okay, it means that she's probably flirting. But it feels very natural. I don't see her, losing control, or I don't see her doing something in a specific. I think that for her, it's like, yeah, I'm just being myself in that moment with that person, but I don't, I'm just having fun. I'm just receptive and open to what they're bringing. But it's not that serious for me, because she is a mystery. Literally, she's a mystery. We have the High Priestess and we have the Nine of Cups. So I think that she, first of all, her nature, with the High Priestess, is someone that she knows herself a lot. She probably is very wise as a woman. She's like, I know the power that I possess with people. So if I would intentionally want to flirt with someone, I know I could get anyone. I could get anyone. But I think that she uses her intuition, and she's like, yeah, that person is good, that person is not so good. She sort of analyzes how she felt afterwards, and she probably is very silent. She's very silent about, what she thinks about certain people, even people from her past. She just doesn't spill the tea on anyone. And I know that she's a Gemini. I think that she's a double Gemini. So there's something just very interesting about her, that I don't see her just chatting and talking about like, oh, I had this, I was flirting with this guy, and then this happened. And then, no, she's like, she keeps it to herself. And she had like a very victorious moments, with the Nine of Cups. She's like, I never, I never missed. Like I never missed an opportunity. I think that I think that she has like this inner strength, or she has this energy that is very attractive, especially because she's so mysterious, so she attracts people to her. This is why she's able to observe, listen, and just not say anything or not do anything, because she already knows that the person is into her. So she's like, I know, I just have to be myself and you will love me. So, and it's not about her just being, too into herself or too confident. No, I think that this is about, um, that she doesn't, when it comes to flirting, I think that she probably likes someone that is like a friend or is very friendly towards her, someone that is not afraid, or someone that is not pushy, or someone that is not, that wants to buy her things or want to do things to be with her. For those people, she doesn't give access. She sort of most more likes spontaneous encounters, where okay, you have to meet because you have to work together or something like this, and then then the flirting happens, and she starts to, she likes the person, she starts to open up and she starts to engage a bit more and more. But I think that it all has to be very, very subtle, very subtle, because if she doesn't like something, she will move on very fast, or she will go away. With the temperance, it feels like, it can be unpredictable. And also with the high priestess, you never know if you did it. She probably got a lot of people confused, because you were like, okay, but did I make her have a good time? Does she like me? Because she is like the one in control. She's like the one that just observes. She's just nuts. She's like, and you never know if you got it right. But yeah, full intimacy. I think that this is the thing. She wants to experience full intimacy with people. And I think that for you to experience full intimacy with her, she needs to see you in a very intimate, and this doesn't mean that she has to be alone with the person. It's more like the environment, the situation has to be very chill. It has to be very positive. It has to be very calm. It has to be very, even hypnotic a bit, very like being at a spa or at a place that you are like, there's no like screaming or shouting, just very chill, because she wants to get to know you in that space. Yeah, smart too. Very smart. But I like it. I like her energy. It feels very. I like her. I think that I would trust her. I would trust her decisions. Why she does what she does. I think that she's very intelligent also. Probably she loves like people that are very easygoing. Not all over the place. I think that she's like no. Yes, she does appear to be difficult from the outside. Yes. Okay, I'm going to pull cards for this AOORA. Is a Korean singer. I believe Yashora said that he's doing well in India. So yeah, let's see for him. Let's see how he's doing. He got the Ten of Swords twice. So what happened with this man? I mean, he's slowly getting out of this, but it feels like, mentally he was very drained or very like, oh my God, like he went through a lot. Six of Swords for this Korean singer. I believe it's AOORA. AOORA. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. Ten of Swords. We have the Justice in the middle. We have the Nine of Cups, and we have the Three of Swords. And then we have the Ten of Swords again, but it says agony. Agony. I mean, yes, he does seem to move a lot because I do have the Six of Swords here. So maybe he comes back from a tour or something has changed or he's advancing. But yeah, I think that he's like, he's like trying to overcome this sort of darkness. It feels like maybe he felt a bit like overwhelmed with thoughts, with maybe a bit of criticism. I think that things hasn't been always like that positive with him, or maybe he had to face certain challenges. That I think that he's like the type of person that maybe it had happened more than once or more than twice that maybe he was betrayed, or he was, he had a sort of setback, or there was, some changes, or there was some criticism, or there was some, things being canceled. I don't know. I think that he's just, he's someone that he's very positive and he always, keeps moving to the next objective, or maybe he travels a lot, or maybe he moves around a lot. So he doesn't allow his energy to get stuck or get all negative, or get, just like the Ten of Swords in here says, agony, but I think that he probably this year, he still has to deal a bit with this part of, maybe he's advancing on something or he's doing well on something, and then, sudden news appear, or then some, challenges or some changes, or he has to adapt, or there's some things that don't get approved. So yeah, and also with the Justice in the middle, I don't know if he's waiting for some kind of justice or if he's waiting for some kind of resolution. But I think that also, justice is about karma. So I think that since it's in the middle, this is a very important year where maybe, yeah, things will accommodate to his favor. Things will accommodate to his favor this year. It's just that, it started very, just, I don't think that he is like, conflicted or he's facing conflicts at this moment. But the Ten of Swords, it's like when you went through a lot, when you went through, like, there seems to be like, when you say like, oh, I get up or I recover from a situation and then I fall again, or then, something new happens. So I'm already devastated. I'm already on the ground. I just got up and I'm already on the ground. Like, what is going on? And I think that with the Justice, it's about balance. It's about, also him respecting maybe certain laws, certain regulations. Maybe he's waiting for a resolution, or he's waiting for some papers to be signed. He's waiting for balance. So with the Justice, I think that it's very important that he remains balanced, that he does. I don't know if is he a Libra? I don't know, but it has nothing to do with his zodiac sign. But I think that he shouldn't rush, this year. I think that things will accommodate, justice will be made. It's just that, maybe there's protocols and he has to wait, or he has to, like, there's this feeling of like, this is never ending. My agony never ends. It feels like this. Yeah, then we have the Nine of Cups and we have the Three of Swords. So see, it's like, okay, I'm receiving something, either in a war, I'm receiving something, or I'm satisfied with my career, and then something happens, that makes me feel a bit sad about things. Like it seems things get spoiled like easily for him. The happiness there is, the achievement, the satisfaction there is definitely. He's someone that he's like, he's counting his blessings. He's like, I done well, and I'm going to do well this year. It's just that it feels like, I don't know, does he have like haters or something like this? Because it feels like, with source, it could be people talking. It could be, people having certain prejudices about him. I don't know how he looks like, but could it be like people judging him because of the way he looks or something like this? But yeah, Ten of Swords, agony. The good thing about the Ten of Swords is that this is like the final stages of suffering. This is going to end. It's just that maybe, this year is like wait a little longer. Wait a little longer. You are going to get your happiness, but you still, it's not entirely over yet. There's something that, with the justice, it's like you have to go through this. This is part of the karma. But yeah. I just checked, he's 40 years old, a Capricorn, has been working in India. He's a rapper according to the internet. Yeah, maybe that's, because of the swords, it could be, he's a rapper, a lot of lyrics. But if he's a Capricorn, honestly, I don't see pentacles. So I'm like, whatever he's building, there's something that it feels like it's not very grounded. It feels like, maybe it could be that whatever he releases is like on a cloud, or it's like on the internet literally, or on the web or something like this, because I don't feel he grounded. I don't feel like, oh my God, like, oh, this is my, my actual achievements. I think that he is, maybe this is why, there could be certain confusion about the ownership of his things. I don't know, but it feels like, there's a Three of Swords, a bit of betrayal. I would secure things because he got a lot of swords. For being an earth sign, maybe he has an Aquarius moon or something like this, but it feels like he has a lot of swords. So, there's something about maybe the internet or, other people's opinions, something like this, that it feels like it interferes a lot on his. But the justice is in the middle. It's like, just, stay balanced. If you're true, if you had done the work, you're going to receive, the outcome that you deserve. So, just stay centered. Hello, Diana. We're well. How are you? Okay, guys. My mate is got so cold. Oh. Yeah, I will have to wait for Yashoda's feedback. Mm-hmm. Welcome. Okay, let's see. I'm going to pull cards for this rumor blind item that it's about this idol that I believe someone said that is like a top tier idol that is supposedly, like, he has a child. I believe he's paying child support. But there's something about maybe him not recognizing the child or something like this. Let's see if the cards show me who it could be. Who is this idol? And if it's true about the situation, about him not recognizing this child. Let's see, or if it's made up. Let's see what the cards have to say about this blind item, about this idol. Let's see. 4 cards and then one of these. Who is he? A lot of major arcanas, but no faces, no faces, no faces. Is someone powerful? Is someone powerful? Of course. Is someone powerful? We start with the magician. Is powerful. Have the sun card. That for me, this is the child, the sun, literally. Temperance. And we have the 6 of swords. And then, yeah, from this deck, I got the page of swords that it says curious. So definitely in here it shows you a bit. We have a page. So the keyword says curious. So it shows you a bit about the nature of this person. I would say, I would say this is the beginning stages. This is not over. I don't think he made up his mind about what he's going to do with the child, because he's looking forward to settle this or maybe get to an agreement, and so everyone is happy, and he wants to keep advancing with this. So I don't see him, like somehow evading the situation, because he's very powerful. So, and he has connections and everything. So, I think that also with the page of swords is giving me like this person could be, I don't want to say like they are like an air sign, like Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, but I think that he probably has like a moon in air, an air moon, Gemini moon, Libra moon, Aquarius moon. Someone that is, this is why we have curious. He's still evaluating the situation. I don't see. I think that this person is like, well, let's see. Everything is new for him. This is not something that he usually does. So I think that he's like, maybe in the future he will show like curiosity for the child, and he will be like, I want to be in their lives, or I want to do this better, or I want to do this in another way. I think that this is just like, at first, I think that, this is why I'm like, it's giving me that this is like the moon sign, because the page of swords is giving me that this is not about age, but this man is very immature. He's very immature. Emotionally, he's very immature. He can be super intelligent for a lot of things. Maybe for creation, being a star. With the magician, definitely this is someone that is in the spotlight, that he knows how to shine, he knows how to perform, he knows how to enchant the audience. He's a master of ceremonies. He's really good at his job. Very popular. And he has everyone under his wing. He's just very hypnotic like this. He's a chameleon also. But at the same time, I think that as a potential father or a potential father figure, or even like thinking about, the consequences of, bringing a child into the world, or what about the woman, or what about this relationship, what is going on, what is going to happen of the baby. I think that he will always be very immature about this. The page of swords is like someone that probably he doesn't feel, is not sentimental, but he's like, he he changes mind. He changes his mind all the time. I think that there's moments where he's curious about the child, maybe, and he wants to, get closer. And then there's moments where he's like, no, because actually I could use this time to work on my music or to do this. It could be that he could be like a producer or something like that, besides being an idol. But I think that his mind is like the one that is running wild a bit, and it shows how immature he is. It shows that, yeah, this man definitely is not made to be a father. It doesn't matter the conditions, nor what happened, nor how it happened, but I think that he will always prioritize that. It's just like when we have here the keyword of curiosity or curious. This is someone that jumps from situation to situation or possibilities to another possibilities. It's like everything that shines and pretty, he goes to that. And then he goes to the other. And then he remembers the other one. He's like, oh, there go. I will go there. This is something that is it's very fitting of creators, and this is why we have the magician. The magician is a very Gemini card, and we have this page of swords. So it shows me like it's not that he is not going to do what he has to do, because actually I see very positive cards. So I can see that things will evolve very positively for this child or for the mother of the child. I think that he will come to a sort of reconciliation, or he will find a way for them to advance together and for, the other part to be taken care of. But I think that emotionally, or maybe, what the role demands of him, he will not do that. Even if in the future he has kids of his own, I think that he will not play. He will be a very mature parent. This is what I want to say. I think that he is great as an artist, but maybe as a partner / a father, he will not be that consistent. So a lot of words, a lot of like, oh, I wrote this song for you. I wrote a letter for you. I wrote this speech about, my, I don't know if he gets married someday, he has children or wife. Oh, I wrote this poem for you. Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything. You cannot sustain it in reality. And he's very absent, like emotionally. So yeah, just stick to the writing and producing, but just don't engage emotionally with people, because there's going to be a lot of heartbreak. In this thing, I don't see heartbreak. I think that they will get along. The magician, the sun, the temperance, and also the Six of Swords is showing me like a very good advance for the situation. So I think that the parties involved, they are going to reach an agreement. I think that probably, the child is a priority, but also his exposure. There's something about this person being very popular, shining very bright, or being the face of the group, or being the leader of a group, or being the most popular of the group, or being the one that is the star of the group, or is like, like the one that initiates, the one that brings the ideas, the one that maybe speaks the most, so he has to be in a good mood as well. He cannot be distracted. He cannot be bothered because he's a star, and if he gets bothered, his creativity as a performer, just don't work or doesn't work. But yeah, I see advances actually very positively, so I think that they will be okay. And if people start speculating, I think that also people on the internet, I don't know, I think that everyone loves these sort of gossips, and they're like, oh, is he going to abandon? I think that they're going to settle and everyone will be happy. So yeah, so good for him, because I think that he's balancing both parties, and he's like, okay, this I can do from my part, I can give you this. So yeah, I don't think that is that like, oh my god, he's so heartless, like he doesn't take care of his own child. No, I think that he does care. No bad intentions. No, there's no, that is made up. that he's not part. No, that is made up. And also, I don't see the mother, so I think that it's not. Maybe they want something out of him that is not like, oh, family. It's more like security, or it's maybe like we want to be okay, or we don't want to be disturbed, or maybe there's something about the mother wanting to travel with the child, because we have the Six of Swords, so it means that probably she's already moving on, or she's like she has to travel in order to get her life together somehow. So there's something about, she could be a bit of a foreigner as well, because I don't see her, but there's something like a reconciliation, like maybe she has to get a permission for him, or they have to get into an agreement, and he will openly just be like, okay, this is what you want, do it. So yeah. It's not that drastic, guys. It's going to settle very fast. But he's popular, yes, he is. He's popular and intelligent as well. Okay, let's see KATSEYE Manon. Let's see KATSEYE Manon. Let's see how she. I know that she entered a sort of indefinitive hiatus, but people are speculating now how her being out of the group. But yeah, let's see about that. Let's see what the cards have to say about that. Manon. Apparently, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, hiatus. Okay, for Manon of KATSEYE, we have the Chariot, we have the Four of Swords, we have the Justice, and we have the Five of Wands. And then from the other deck, we have the card of the Three of Pentacles, Perfection. She's a Cancer sun, right? Because I see a Chariot in here, and I'm like, this is a Cancer sun. Cancer energy. There's something about her, wanting to advance. She's very stubborn as well. Maybe she wanted to advance with something, and then they were like, no, you have to rest. You have to stop. You have to rest. So probably there's something about her refusing to rest when she has to rest, but the hiatus is like, you have to rest. Justice and the Five of Wands. Yeah, I think that honestly I feel it like this when I see this. I think that it's people fighting for her or in the name of her. With the Justice and the Five of Wands. I don't see Manon fighting with people with the members, like people say. I think that people fight in the name of Manon. People fight in the name of Manon. They feel like she had been wrong. Like there's something that needs to be, this is unfair for her. This is unfair for her, and I think that everyone is fighting. Everyone is going to continue fighting. There's a lot of speculation. Probably it's going to affect the other members, or the other KATSEYE members. if they say something or if they try to revoke certain rumors or say like, no guys, it's not like you think, trying to bring balance, trying to bring honesty, or maybe saying something. But people just like, I think that people just have this strong desire of fighting for Manon, or in the name of Manon, whatever Manon represents for them. But I think that people just love to see conflict. It sparks, like, I know there's something wrong. I know there's injustice. I know it. So it's more like people want to fight in the name of Manon, because we have the Three of Pentacles and it says perfection. So she's going to come back to work at some point. She's going to come back. And is going to, her role is going to be perfect. She's going to be perfect. She's going to also, if she comes back, she's going to accommodate perfectly to the dynamic of the group. There's good dynamic. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't see her being left out, kicked out, like people say. No, no. It's just that there's a perception, there's something, and also it's very interesting because, I start with the Chariot and I was like, she's like a Cancer sun, there's something about Cancer idols, and this reminds me a bit of, Enhypen Sonu. Like there has been, and I don't know if it's still there is, this sort of like, oh, it's him against a group, and like there's some members that treat him wrong, they don't treat him well, they make faces to him, they make comments towards him, they make him feel uncomfortable. So I think that there's something about certain like Cancer energy that it feels like people just feel like, oh my God, there's a potential victim, so we have to say something. And I mean, they're just being a Cancer person. And also, the Cancer energy is very much like, you see that they have this energy of like, I didn't say anything. If you think so, I will leave it to you. So they also are very like a water sign, they are very like, so there's something about like, I think that she's okay. I think that the conflict comes from, maybe people think that, maybe the company hasn't been fair towards her from the beginning, or that there had been some injustices. But it's not about the dynamic of the group, because we have the Three of Pentacles and it says perfection. So, it's going to be perfect when she comes back. So I don't see it, at least. I don't know about what people say. This is what I see with my cards. This is what I see. She gave an interesting statement herself and said she wasn't sick, even though they said she's on hiatus for sickness. Yeah, she's okay. Because I see the Chariot, so I'm like, I see her like a train, that she wants to keep advancing, but they're like, no, you're going on hiatus. So could it be a strategy? I don't see hiding there, but there's the Justice card. So could it be that this is like made up? And I think that from her part, it's like getting in her, of course, it's getting in her activities, because she was so like, excited, and, she was so already ready to keep advancing with the group. And then you are like, no, you need to rest. And it's like, what? But well, they will keep fighting. People will keep confronting everyone. Like there will be a lot of fighting. People will fight. People will fight. People, I don't know what is it about her, but people are like, oh, so angry already. So angry. Like, But the group is okay. She's going to come back to the group at some point, and they're going to resume their activities, so it's going to be perfect. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to pull cards for WSJN Comeback. I think that this is Cosmic Girls. This is the name for Cosmic Girls. They're having a comeback, and someone said that Starship didn't even promote them. And it's happening I don't know if it already happened, but let's see how they're going to go. Because we rule for a comeback here for them. I like them. Cosmic Girls, thank you. Okay, yeah, we have for Cosmic Girls, we have the Fool, we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, it's all about the girls. they are pushing this because yes. I don't want to say all of them. I think that it's two of them that they are like in charge, because yeah, this is not moving without them. And we have the Eight of Pentacles that says apprenticeship. Eight of Pentacles, apprenticeship. Yeah. Yeah, I think that this is about them, going back to work, going back to practice, apprenticeship literally is like we want to go back to practice. We want to go back, to rehearse, to do what we do, because this is what we do, this is like, I don't know if has it been that long? Has it been that long for them? Because it feels like they are like, we need to go back to work, to our roots. We really want to go back to actively preparing for this. And also they're very perfectionist all at the same time. They're really good at this. It's just that they're like, we miss the preparation. We miss having an objective and being like, okay, guys, this is what you're working towards. This is, what you're putting your energy into. They miss working. They miss working. Maybe together, as the group, because I'm reading for the group. But yeah, the Fool and the Seven of Wands, I think that they also wanted a brand new beginning. They wanted this year to be different. And I think that they stood their ground. They were waiting for a chance. I think that there's something about them being, very much observant of like, okay, when maybe it's a song, maybe it's an opportunity at the studio. There's something about them being like, okay, new year, new us. They were like trying to catch a spot. It feels like this, like, okay, this group is having this, the other group is having this, the other group is doing this, these people are doing this. Okay, now this is for us. And they did it, and they are, they had to fight a lot. They had to defend themselves a lot, stay strong and just being very stubborn about this, defending themselves and why they want to come back, why they want something new. They also want to start over with their careers. They want a fresh new beginning, a fresh new concept. They want to show probably people that, that they have this brand new concept as well, that they are experimenting themselves. They wanted this change. And I think that they had to be very, very brave about this. It feels like this opportunity just didn't drop on their lap. No one came from that company or whoever and was like, girls, this is for you. Do you want it? No. They had to get this. They had to be like, okay, I think that this is our time. This is our time here. and they had to defend this, and somehow probably like it's like it excuse not excuse, but it feels like they had to give a lot of like reasons why they deserve to have a comeback, like defend their poster and be like, okay, we want to come back because we this, and it feels like yeah, especially I think that it's like the Queen of Wands and the Page of Swords. It feels like it's a combination of either this is like could be like the oldest and the youngest of the group. It could be like, I don't know, the leader and the magnet, something like this. These two members, very powerful, very outspoken, very much like, okay, we will go to war for this opportunity. It felt like this. Or maybe they were the ones creating it. They maybe produce it or something like this. But there's two that they are united. They were the one that initiated this project, and yeah, and they are being very, very professional about this. They are preparing themselves very well. They are really talented. They are really talented, but also they are very concise about, okay, we have to be perfect. We have to, rehearse more. We have to see these technical things, just they are really good at this. They are really good at this. It's just that they probably didn't have the chance, to do this. 2022 was the last comeback, and it's their 10th anniversary next week. Oh, so cute. Okay, I'm going to read for Boy Next Door, Myung Jaehyun. Boy Next Door. Oh, why are they flipping like this? Myung Jaehyun. Boy Next Door. Let's see his 2026. Let's see how he's doing. The cards are asleep. Are like turning like this. So he must be very charged in energy because they're jumping a lot. You see? Myung Jaehyun for Next Door. Okay, let's see. Jaehyun, Boy Next Door. A lot of major arcanas also for this man. So it feels deeper than how can I say this? It feels deeper than, I'm doing this for the group, or I'm doing this because I have to, I don't know, feed the concept or something like this. No, it feels spiritual. It feels like he had changed his ways. It's just that the transformation is very drastic. This is why we have the death card. We start with did I say the cards? Did I say the cards, Tortolino? Sorry. I'm lost. Well, if I didn't say it, I'm going to say it again. Wheel of Fortune, because I'm very distracted. I don't know why. I don't know if he's feeling like this, but I feel very like distracted. Wheel of Fortune, Death card. We have the Hierophant. We have the Fool. We have the Six of Cups. And then we have the Six of Pentacles, Generosity. So When we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Death card, definitely there's like a change of movement, a change in his energy. I think that he had a certain vibe, or he had a certain rhythm, or a way of the way he conducted himself. um Maybe very fast, very, he would change, he would be unpredictable, or he would be, there's something about him relying on his luck a lot. I know he's a Sagittarius, I believe, so it feels like, him going with the flow and being like, oh, I'm so lucky, things have done very well for me. And then the Death card, that it feels like bam, like something drastically changed in his life. I don't know if because it feels like even spiritually, because there's no way, because I don't see like, oh no, he had an issue with someone, and this person, I don't know, called him out, and this is why he changed. No, it feels like a stop on the flow of his energy. It feels like you cannot behave like this anymore. You cannot do that anymore. You have to go for a transformation. This is the old you. The unexpected you has to change. You have to transform, shed the old skin. This is no longer you. So this is why he can seem a bit down in energy, a bit like what is going on with him, a bit dark, like you are usually not like this. Like, what happened? You used to be so, I don't know, I feel like he moves a lot, very exciting. uh, does he have a condition? Does someone know if he takes medication, if he takes pills or something like this, like for a certain condition of his that is about movement, is about, because I think that there's something that is sort of like calming him down. It's like, but it's also making him feel like this, like he is like a ghost. You're like, what is going on with you? You're so serious, like you're so even sleepy, I must say. Yeah, I have the Hierophant in the middle. The Hierophant for me, it's for me, it's the company. It's the company, it's the higher ups, it's the CEO. Usually for the idols, when I read for idols, it's all about the ones in power, the ones that tell you how to behave, the ones that impart the rules, the ones that, they know better than you. They have, this is why, the Pope, he has the book, in here we don't have the book, but usually in certain decks, you have, a Hierophant or a Pope that holds the book, so it's like he is the one that has the knowledge. So he's the one that, conducts everything. So I could see an institution being in charge of Jaehyun and being like, okay, you have to follow certain rules. After this transformation, you have to follow certain rules. Like, you cannot behave the way you used to behave. You have to follow rules. You have to follow protocols. This is why I'm like, this could be the company, or this could also be that it could be a hospital. I don't know why I want to say, like, he has to follow a certain treatment or something like this. It's like you have to follow rules. And you will have to follow them for a while. This is, and I think that is for his benefit. Honestly, like, I don't think that it's like someone is harming him or he's like blocking him. I just think that, yeah, maybe it happened suddenly, and maybe, yeah, he doesn't talk about this, but maybe it's like a treatment or something like this. But I think that he was too rushed. I don't know. Yeah, and with the Fool and the Six of Cups, I think that eventually he will eventually go back to be himself. He will not be exactly the same as he used to be, but he will probably start acting more like, juvenile, or more like his age, or more like unpredictable or original. There's something about his originality that people like, that it sort of reminds people, oh, that's how he used to be. I think that there's something also very childish of his, that people either they like it or they don't like it. So this is why I think that he's going to start over. It's just that maybe not exactly the same, because I don't see conflict, but I think that he needs a time. He needs rules. He needs regulations. He needs someone that is like, no, you cannot do that. You have to do this. You have to do this. You cannot act like this. You cannot move like this. And it feels like sudden. Yeah, it feels like death. Literally, like a part of him died. What happened? But I think that it's a process of trying to calm him down, because if you notice, as when I started reading, you notice how I was like so nervous. I was like, I couldn't find myself. I even feel anxious myself. So thank God the cards are very positive. But yeah, Six of Pentacles, generosity. So see, he has people that are generous with him. He has people that they are going to support him. They are going to give him what he needs. So don't worry, he's not being mistreated. He's not being punished for something. No, he's been guided. He's been guided to change, to transform. There's something about his old self or his old ways that had to change. It could also be about maturity. Maybe he's been asked to be more mature. Wait, guys. Now, can you hear me well? According to the internet, he was depressed and anxious in the past due to his training at YG, but the idols received therapy and counseling at Kiev. So that could be because I was feeling like I was like, and the cards actually don't indicate like, oh, he's like, no, but I felt so irrational. But yeah, he changed drastically, so it could be a side effect. Yes, he changed drastically, but I think that is for the best. I think that is for his, is for helping him. It's not to restrict him, nor that, oh, he cannot be himself. No. Don't worry. Mm. I'm going to pull cards for this group, for this show that I'm watching. And if anyone is watching it besides me, you can leave me your perceptions in the comment section. But I'm watching on Disney Plus. I'm watching Battle of Fates. That it's a show, a reality show about shamanism. Tarot readers, Saju readers, even food readers, face readers. There's a lot of people in there. Very talented. I'm enjoying it. There's certain things that I'm like, especially when they put certain like people that are really good looking and all of a sudden they make it. I'm like, yeah, I know why you're doing this. Um, but yeah, I'm still not very satisfied with the tarot readers in there, except for there's a lady that she has like curly hair. She has like white, not white, blonde hair with curly hair, and she wears glasses. She's really good at reading the cards, and I'm loving her tarot deck because she has not only her, but there's it's her, and I seen it in. I believe there's also a shaman that also uses tarot. That they have these tarot decks that they are inspired in Korean culture. So it's not the Rider White. It has like Korean style, and I'm loving it. I love it. I wish I could get one for myself, but it's so nice because I'm sure the whole reading changes because I noticed that they really they take the images literally, or they rely a lot on the images. So I think that maybe seeing it from their culture or their beliefs, their own system of beliefs, I think that they must get different messages. It's not the same as seeing the Six of Pentacles in a traditional deck, that's seeing it from inspired in Korean culture. It must be more meaningful. I believe because it has 10 episodes, and I believe that next Wednesday is going to premiere the last. I believe we have three more available. So yeah, I'm going to pull cards to see, because people have been commenting online, like there's supposedly like a writer or someone that worked in a show that they say that is scripted. And this person supposedly spilled all the tea about how they didn't get it right initially, about the things that they had to guess with the cards, and not with the cards, with their own abilities. And I don't know, let's see if that's true. But also I want to see who wins, even though it can be very wide about who wins, but because you never know. Because yes, since there's a lot of manipulation, or there's certain things that you're like, it's not so much about talent. There's certain things that are like, we chosen this, and you're like, okay. Or then there's certain people that they and this is also very funny, because there's certain people that advanced to the next level, and you never seen them answering. I know that they started, I believe, with, is it 40 or 49 contestants. So I know there's a lot of people, and you cannot, use the whole to show them all. But there's certain people that, they advance to the next challenge, and you're like, but I didn't see when they won. And at the same time, there's certain people that disappeared, and you're like, you never even see them like saying goodbye. So you're like, oh my God, that person is no longer in there. Okay. So it feels like, okay. It feels like that's a choice in the edits of the show. But I was like, okay, I guess I'm missing something. Let's see if it's true that is scripted. We start with the Queen of Wands. There's a woman here, Knight of Wands, a woman and a man, Magician, and Justice. Yeah, definitely there's something about a woman and a man, especially because they are very young, and they're represented by wands. So there's something about them just being very popular, and them being very like seem very passionate or very thirsty. It feels like I'm going to make my best. I'm going to make everything that I can to make it. And maybe, when it comes to skills, they don't make it because of their skills. They make it more because they have the star quality, or they have the ability to entertain. That first of all, we're talking about a show that it's about entertainment. So it's all about like you bring in excitement or you bring in drama, maybe. So it's like, yeah, we gave those people, we gave them a chance, or we gave them a spot, and we decided to be very kind with them and give them opportunities because they first of all, they are very nice to look. They have a very extroverted personality, or they are very they have a lot of fire. So these are people that they really want to be famous. So it's like, yeah, we got them because we know that could it be that they are actors? Could it be that they are actors? Because the magician is giving me like, I can literally, we're talking not about magic, but I don't think a tarot reader is not a magician. Not a tarot reader. I mean, a fortune teller, or someone that has psychic abilities or spiritual abilities usually is represented by the high priestess. So a magician is more like pretend. Like, I pretend to have these talents. I give you a show. So yeah, about that person, there's something. About these two people, there's something that, yeah, they are not in there for the reasons that you think, about like, and this is going to get called out. Like, not now, but it's going to get out at some point. People are going to spill the tea about that. About who's going to win. It's going to be tight between two people. I don't know if, yeah, I think that there has to be one winner. But it could be a woman. It could be a woman. This one is intuitive, this woman. This woman is intuitive. We have the Queen of Cups, we have the Eight of Wands, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. And I think that a lot of people are underestimating this person. They are like, no, she maybe she seems sweet, or she seems like too sweet, or she seems like too, like there's something about her playing really good with others. She's very generous, she's very compassionate, she's like a mother figure. So it's like she takes care of others, so people don't see her like a potential winner. But I think that, and also her advances, or maybe the way she's winning spots, is going to be very slow. And you're like, oh my God, she's still in there, she's still in the race. Yeah, I think that the winner is going to be a woman. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Let's wish them the best. Let's see. Next Wednesday, it airs the last. But if you look for it on TikTok, I know that there's people that do summaries, of that. But I'm glad, because I said on people on Discord that I had my resistances about watching it, because I don't know, I just get annoyed about this sort of sad. First of all, they call tarot readers, they call them tarot masters, and I'm like, why tarot master? Like, I think that the title of master, I'm sure that in their culture it must mean something different. Maybe it's not translated correctly, like tarot master. But I think that I don't know. There was a woman that I'm going on Discord. I'm going to show you if I can get the scene where she's shuffling the cards. The way she was like, pulling the cards, the deck, it was all ruined. It was all like this. All the cards that she would throw on the table, they were all like this. This is how she was treating the cards. This is how she was treating the cards. In that condition, she had the cards. And she had, I believe she had different decks. And I was like, I don't want to be judgmental. But since I have a lot of years of experience, and I know how expensive a tarot deck is, you cannot treat the cards like this. I wouldn't go get a reading from you if you have all the cards like this. Like, why is your deck like this? Like, I understand you can have, one tarot deck, and that tarot deck can be in very poorly conditions, and it's very worn, and it's very used, and it shows that you had used it. So it's, I don't know, it's probably, the images you cannot see very well, it's like, it's faded a bit because of the use. In that, I'm like, yeah, you go and use it. But if you see like because this is a carton, this is a carton board, this is a paper. So if you see it that like they are all like this, like I'm like, oh my God, like and the way she would throw the cards like that, I'm like, what are you doing? Oh no. For me, I felt like I shuffle fast. Usually I know people that shuffle more carefully. I shuffle fast, but I make sure to not damage the cards. And I don't like jumping cards. I don't like when the cards jump. Like I don't like it like this, because I am the one pulling the cards. I am responsible for the reading. I am the one that makes the reading happen. I don't call any spirit, nor angel, nor guardians of whoever. I am the one that is delivering the message. So I'm very realistic about what I do. I have an intention of what I do. So when I see someone damaging the cards like this, I lose respect for you. Like, and I feel it so, like, I feel it so bad because, nowadays it's easier to get a tarot deck, but I always tell the same story. I feel like a broken record. But the thing is that a few years, like 20 years, like not just 20 years, maybe 30 years back, getting a tarot deck, at least from where I live, it was impossible. So we had to use playing cards. So when I see someone treat the cards like this, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why? Like, in what part it says that this is like, this is a style, this is a choice, like, oh yeah, I treat the cards like this. But yeah. Are they trying to find the best reader? What is the purpose of the show? I think that yes, they are trying to find the one that reads the fortune, the ones that gets all the premonitions, not the premonitions, but the one that gets the answers right. They have challenges where the judges have the information. Especially, this is something that I'm like, this is why I in the first episodes I have a lot of respect for shamanism and for shamans, because the first questions are about that deceased people, are about people that are no longer with us. So they give you their name and their birth date and their date of death. So you have to the first challenge was like, you have to find out how they died. So I think that then that they're able to channel, I believe that they can channel the disease, or they can get information from the energies around them. Me as a tarot reader, I would be like, okay, I don't do that. I don't read. I mean, I can do that, of course. I pull the cards and I can get a message, but it's not my expertise. It's not what I do. I read for the living. But in that sense, that's when the challenges I think that the initial three were about dead people. So it's about technical. You have to guess how they died, you know. So the shamans were the one that they were getting right. They were getting like all the answers right. Um, then it goes more like, okay, you can see maybe with the cards or with oracles, you can see it better. Then you had, 4 people, 4 men, and among those men, there's one that hit the lottery. There's one that won the lottery, so he's a billionaire now. And there's another one that was hit by lightning, so almost died. I think that it died and it came back to life, but it was hit by lightning. So you had these 2 people with 2 opposed experiences, and you have to guess of the 4 people that are standing there, which one are who won the lottery and who was hit by lightning. So it's very interesting. Like I really enjoy it because I'm like, wow, what are the odds? What are the odds? Like, oh my God, like it's complex. It's complex. And me, since I have been reading tarot for so many years, I don't think that I would be able to get the accuracy. First of all, because there's a lot of options. There's I don't know. I think that I never put myself in that situation like, okay, you guess, because it's not the same about you reading someone's like what's available for them and just guessing. Guessing is different. It's different. Sometimes I guess, things or people that I'm like, they didn't ask me about this, but I can kind of see where they come from. So, but they usually want to know about the future, not, okay, what happened to them? Like, no, they don't ask that. But, you have the tools. So I guess for me, I think that in a show like this, for me, it would be really hard to concentrate. Because, and this I noticed that a lot of people that were not shamans, they were very much affected by the noise around them. And not just the noise, is the energy. Because the shamans, that the shamans have their tools, they have their bells, they have their, they have a lot of accessories. They have a lot of tools, of shamanism, of their own entities. So they do ring the bells, every time they want to get an information. So you can imagine that there's a lot of shamans and they were all ringing their bells. There was other people from other religion or practices that they also had bells. They also had instruments. So they were all ringing it. They were all ringing it. So you imagine if you're an astrologer that you bring your computer to guess, or you bring your book to do the chart reading, and then, or me that I bring this cloth and I bring my card, and you listen, and you listen the vibration of a lot of people summoning energy, and that affects you, not just your ears that you're like, oh my God, like what is, like, oh my God, my ears. It's just that it interferes with your own process of bringing the energy to you, to your table, to your cards. So you have to be really good at having like a sort of cancellation noise, or having a lot of practice when it comes. Good meditation, knowing how to meditate, it would be excellent in a place like this. Because I know I will be worn out. And I think that after answering, whether I get it right or not, but after answering, like, I think that 3-4 questions, I will be ready to go home. I would be so energetically drained by everyone in the room. Because I am, this is why I'm a tarot reader, because I, even though I don't, I don't do the practices of others, I'm still a very sensitive person. So everything that happens around me affects me and affects my energy field. So even if I'm like, okay, I'm just here to read cards, but what the others are bringing, the other readers, the other shamans, the other people, what they are bringing is affecting me. So I don't know, if I would even get, and if you add the competitiveness that they want to make it, like, and you want to make it, and you're like, it's a lot, it's a lot, but they have their chances. I think that it's just, they show more people than others. So I'm like, yeah, it's all about appearances. I notice. But yeah, very interesting. Okay, guys, I'm going to go. I hope that you guys enjoy this. Thank you, Charlina, to keep me company today. I know that there weren't very few people today. Usually on Sunday, sometimes there's more people than join. Sometimes there's no one. But yeah, I try to do the readings as you guys requested. And I believe next Wednesday, I'm going to start reading for Pisces idols, because I have to start with the Pisces idols. So yeah, maybe I will do part 2 of how do they flirt on Sunday. We'll see. But yeah, have a lovely Sunday, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.